Cardinale. Entertainment all day. Click, dive deep. Color on the screen runs free. Tropical fins, bright reef. Whole ocean.
I'm Alex Cardinale, and I personally would like to welcome you to this presentation of the Alex Cardinale Entertainment YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy this special live stream right here on A.C.E. A.C.E.
Since 2014, still live, tank top built to survive. Freshwater deep, saltwater shine. Every setup, one of a kind. Aqua Alex in the spotlight. Cardinale got the fish life. OG voice on the podcast wave. Learn the game, keep it brave. From glass boxes to coral dreams, we map the world in filtration streams. You got questions, bring them through. The wetline's here to school you. From the bay to the planet tank, from the reef to the gravel bank. If you want the real, not the hype, you know where the hobby comes alive. Aquatic Wetline, yeah, we on time. Aquatic Wetline, yeah, we on time. Fresh assault, let the tank shine. Aqua Alex, that's a lifeline. Learn the fish, learn the flow. OG podcast, let the hobby grow. Wetline strong, watch it climb. Aquatic Wetline, yeah, we on time. Split rule with that fearless stare. Catfish glide through the midnight air. Tetris flash in a silver school. Clownfish bounce like they break the rule. Tanks
Aquatic Wetline
like
with Aqua Alex, the Fish Keepers Podcast.
In the current pool. Reef rock stacked in the colors full.
Hello, fish keepers! Welcome to Aquatic Wetline, the Fish Keepers Podcast. I'm your host, American Aqua Alex Cardinale, and welcome to a very special episode of Aquatic Wetline. This week, the United States of America celebrates its 250th birthday, and because this week is such a huge week for America, I decided we're going to celebrate America's history by discussing history of fish keeping in the United States of America. If there's one thing us aquarium hobbyists are proud about, is we're proud to be able to keep fish here in America and all the amazing species that we are able to keep. So here's what's on the agenda on this episode of Aquatic Wetline. Learn how the fish keeping hobby got started in the U.S.A. Learn about the history of fish keeping from the 18th century to today in the United States of America. Learn about a very important gentleman by the name of William T. Innes and how he was instrumental to tropical fish keeping here in the United States of America, and a whole lot more. We'll learn about glowfish, hybrid fish, and more. This really is going to be a fun episode of Aquatic Wetline, which begins right now. As always, I thank you all for tuning in. If you have any fish keeping questions, please post them in the chat and I will answer your questions. So let's get started. Let's find out how fish keeping started right here in the good old U.S.A. All right. So fish keeping in the United States officially started as a widespread hobby during the mid to late 1800s, sparked primarily by a massive government publicity initiative to distribute free goldfish. What began as a novelty using primitive glass bowls transformed into a highly advanced multi-million-dollar hobby driven by rapid technological innovations. The mid-1800s goldfish boom. Early importation. Goldfish first arrived from Asia in the early 19th century and quickly captivated the American public as exotic novelties. Government push. In the late 1800s, the United States Commission on Fisheries actively bred and distributed free goldfish to any citizen who requested them. That's awesome. Wish that happened today. Household staple. This highly successful campaign put fish bowls and garden ponds into homes all across the nation, making the goldfish America's first widespread aquatic pet. The rise of public spectacles. P.T. Barnum's influence. In 1856, the famous showman P.T. Barnum opened the first public aquarium exhibit in the U.S. Early challenges. These early public and private exhibits struggled severely because people did not yet understand the nitrogen cycle, biological filtration, or proper aeration, causing many fish to die quickly. The evolution of the glass tank. The balanced method. Before electricity, fish keepers relied entirely on a strict balanced system of live plants to generate oxygen and snails to clear waste. There are still some dinosaurs that still rely on this method. I'm just kidding. But there are plenty of fish keepers who still believe the balanced method today. There are still fish keepers that rely on a balanced system of live plants to generate oxygen and snails to clear waste. Pre-electric engineering. Early home aquariums featured heavy metal frames sealed with tar or pitch to hold the glass panes together. Club culture. Even without heaters or filters, the hobby expanded so rapidly that major American cities established highly popular tropical fish clubs by the late 19th century. The 20th century technology revolution. The post-World War II era in the mid-1900s completely revolutionized the hobby from a delicate balancing act into an accessible science. Grid electricity. Widespread residential power allowed for the introduction of automated aeration, artificial lighting, and water heaters. William T. Innes, known as Mr. Tropical Fish, Innes published highly influential books and magazines in the early to mid-1900s that standardized proper care and polarized exotic tropical species in America. Mechanical filtration. The introduction of the undergravel filter in the 1950s drastically improved water quality and made tank maintenance much more manageable. Commercial flake food. Also introduced in the 1950s, processed flake food eliminated the exhausting requirement of harvesting or buying live food daily, allowing anyone to easily feed their fish. And that is a perfect introduction for our show today. And that is a perfect way to get us started. And that is how fish keeping started in the USA. And now we're going to get in depth. Now we're going to talk about the history of fish keeping in the USA, and we're going to go over the 250-year timeline of fish keeping in the USA right now. So, fish keeping in the United States evolved from an elite curiosity into America's most popular hobby over the last 250 years. The timeline spans from the late 18th century to modern times, shifting from the primitive glass jaws to highly advanced, digitally controlled ecosystems. 250-year timeline of fish keeping. 1770s to the 1840s, elite novelty. 1850s to the 1890s, goldfish boom. 1900s to the 1940s, electrification. 1950s to 1990s, modern tech. And 2000s to present, digital age. 1776 to 1840s, the era of elite novelties, exotic imports. Wealthy Americans occasionally imported Chinese goldfish via merchant ships, keeping them as short-lived status symbols. Glass jars. True aquariums did not exist yet. Fish were kept in basic glass globes or ceramic bowls without filtration. Stagnant water. Water was changed daily by hand because people did not understand how fish breathed or how water fouled. 1850s to 1890s, the Victorian goldfish boom. P.T. Barnum's debut. In 1856, showman P.T. Barnum opened the first American public aquarium display at his American Museum in New York, captivating the public. The balanced aquarium. Hobbyists discovered that combining live plants with fish created a self-sustaining oxygen cycle, allowing tanks to survive without constant water changes. Free government fish. In the late 1800s, the U.S. Commission on Fish and Fisheries bred millions of goldfish and gave them away entirely free to Washington, D.C. residents and applicants nationwide to promote aquaculture. Metal-framed tanks. Homes adopted heavy, ornate cast iron tanks sealed with toxic tar or slate bottoms, which are sometimes heated from below using small gas lamps or candles. 1900s to 1940s, electrification and the tropical wave. Residential power. The expansion of the domestic electrical grid in the 1920s allowed for the invention of the first electrical water heaters and air pumps. The tropical shift. Hobbyists moved away from cold water goldfish toward colorful tropical species like guppies, swordtails, and bettas. William T. Innes. In 1936, Innes published Exotic Aquarium Fishes, a massive literary success that standard set specific and scientific aquarium care for generations of Americans. Aviation imports. Post-World War II aviation allowed commercial collectors to fly wild-caught tropical fish from South America and Asia directly to the United States within days rather than weeks. 1950s through the 1990s, the plastic and mechanical revolution. Under-gravel filters. Invented in the 1950s, these filters use the tank's gravel bed as a biological filter, drastically reducing fish mortality rates. Dry flake food. The introduction of processed, shelf-stable flake food in the 1950s eliminated the messy chore of sourcing live worms or flies. All glass aquariums. In the 1960s, the development of cheap, waterproof silicone sealant completely replaced heavy metal frames with lightweight, leak-proof, all-glass aquariums. The reef revolution. The late 1980s and 1990s introduced trickle filters and high-intensity lighting, allowing Americans to successfully keep live corals and saltwater reef fish at home for the first time. And then there is 2000s to present, the digital and eco-conscious age. LED lighting. Highly efficient programmable LED lights replaced hot, energy, expensive fluorescent bulbs, allowing hobbyists to mimic natural sunrise and sunset cycles. Aquascaping. The hobby shifted towards heavy artistic design, heavily influenced by Japanese nature aquariums that prioritize lush underwater landscaping over the fish themselves. Also, in the 2000s to present, we had hybridized fish. Fish like the blood parrot, fish like the flower horn, fish like the red-tailed catfish times tiger shovelnose, and many Lake Malawi hybrids have been entered into the aquarium hobby. Now, the blood parrot and the flower horn is a mix of two Central American cichlids, and the red-tailed cat is obviously mixed with the tiger shovelnose. A little bit later on tonight, we're going to talk about the hybridization of fish species and how they entered the United States fish keeping hobby. And we're also going to talk about glowfish a little bit later on in the show, because glowfish originated right here in the United States of America. But also in the 2000s to current, captive breeding. Due to stricter environmental laws, the U.S. market shifted towards tank-raised coral and captive-bred marine fish rather than harvesting them from wild coral reefs. And that is the history of fish keeping in the United States of America. All right, let's check our comments. I see we have 3 comments already in our live chat. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. All right, so Renee is in the house. Hey, Renee, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a great evening. Renee says, I remember the wet-dry trickle filters. I think I remember them too, but I am not 100% sure. But they are pretty cool. They must have been pretty cool. I wonder if there's any of these older aquarium equipment around somewhere. And he says he remembers all of the discus varieties. Yes, there was plenty of them back then, and there are way more discus species now. All right, coming up next, we're going to learn about Mr. Tropical Fish himself, William T. Ines. We're going to learn how instrumental he was to the fish keeping hobby and a whole lot more. But first, let's hear a word from Aquatic Wetline's newest sponsor, Sensational Pool Systems, LLC. Now, they clean pools here in South Florida, but they also are now offering pond services. Do you have a pond in South Florida that needs to be cleaned? You're going to definitely want to check out Paulie V, because Paulie V will take great care of you. He loves koi and he loves working on ponds. And pretty soon we're going to have a very epic announcement coming up in the future regarding Sensational Pool Systems, LLC.
Is your pool looking a little green around the gills? Or maybe your pond needs a little pick-me-up. Look no further than Sensational Pool Systems, LLC, your local experts in pool and pond services. Based right here in sunny South Florida, we're a veteran-owned business committed to customer satisfaction above all else. From transforming your pool from green to pristine with our professional cleaning services starting at just $100 a month, to handling all your repair and installation needs, we've got you covered. Our comprehensive pond services include cleanings, maintenance, and more. Plus, we offer koi and goldfish upon request to bring your pond to life. We proudly serve West Palm Beach, Jupiter, Royal Palm, Riviera, Boynton Beach, Lake Worth, and beyond. Ready to dive into a sensational experience? Contact us today at 561-785-9561 or sensationalpoolsystemsllc@gmail.com. Your dream pool or pond is just a call away. Sensational Pool Systems LLC, making your water sensational.
Well, tonight we are celebrating 250 years of the United States of America, and we are learning about the history of fish keeping. But this Saturday, it is the 4th of July, and it is America's 250th birthday, and we have a very special episode coming up this Saturday.
Celebrate the 4th of July and U.S.A.'s 250th birthday with Alex Cardinale. Get ready to wave those flags and light up the sky. Join us for a spectacular celebration of the 4th of July and the 250th birthday of the United States with Saturday with Alex Cardinale live. Date: Saturday, July 4th, 2026. Time: 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Where? YouTube channel www.youtube.com/AlexCardinale2026. What's happening? Join Alex Cardinale for an unforgettable night filled with fun, facts, and festivities. Here's what you can expect. Animals of the world. Get up close with the majestic bald eagle and the intriguing alligator snapping turtle. Aqua Alex's featured fish. Dive into the aquatic world with the largemouth bass and the ancient bowfin. Monster of the deep. Discover the fascinating alligator gar. Hot take. Explore the best American foods that make your mouth water. 3 rounds of 2 truths and a lie. Test your knowledge with U.S.A., Civil War, and Revolutionary War trivia. Saturday buzzer. Can Alex conquer the challenge of discussing the history of the U.S.A. in just 5 minutes? Success means a happy 4th of July for all. Failure means he pays the piper. Chef Alex. Learn to whip up delicious 4th of July recipes. Detective Alex, dive into the mysteries of 4th of July crimes. Don't miss the excitement and celebration. Prepare for a night of patriotism and entertainment like no other. Tune in and be part of this historic celebration. Remember to subscribe to Alex Cardinale Entertainment on YouTube, so you won't miss a minute of the action.
All right, now we're going to talk about Mr. Tropical Fish himself, William T. Innes, and why he was instrumental in the fish keeping hobby. William T. Innes, who was born in 1874 and passed away in 1969, is considered the father of the American aquarium hobby and was effectively known as Mr. Tropical Fish. Operating out of Philadelphia, Innes utilized his professional background as a printer and publisher to transform fish keeping from a chaotic, poorly understood pastime into a standardized, scientific, and wildly popular American hobby. The Aquarium Bible, Exotic Aquarium Fishes. In 1935, Innes published his masterpiece, Exotic Aquarium Fishes, a work of general reference. Prior to this, aquarium literature was incredibly vague, leaving hobbyists to guess how to keep tropical fish species alive. Known simply as the Innes book, it was continuously updated across nearly 20 editions, serving as the definitive care manual for millions of Americans for over 4 decades. Pioneering fish photograph. Before Innes, books relied on inaccurate hand-drawn illustrations of fish. Innes was a passionate photographer who invented the Innes photo tank, a custom ultra-thin glass enclosure that physically restricted fish from swimming out of focus. This allowed him to capture highly detailed crisp black and white and early color photographs of fish, giving the public their first true look at exotic species. The Aquarium magazine. In 1932, he founded the Aquarium magazine, which became the first highly successful national monthly periodical dedicated entirely to tropical fish enthusiasts. For 35 years, the publication connected commercial breeders, pioneering scientists, and everyday hobbyists, creating a robust national community. The Neon Tetra namesake. Inds played a direct role in introducing the Neon Tetra to the world. When wild-caught specimens first arrived from the Amazon in the 1930s, Inds sent samples to the famous ichthyologist George Myers for official identification. To honor Inds' monumental impact on aquaculture, Myers scientifically named the world-famous fish Neon Tetra Hypessobicron inesi. So that's awesome that the Neon Tetra was named after William T. Inds. So now the question begs, how was William T. Inds instrumental to the American aquarium hobby? Let's find out right now. William T. Inds was instrumental because he single-handedly standardized aquarium care and turned a chaotic pastime into a scientific mainstream aquarium American hobby. So he was instrumental because he standardized aquarium care and turned chaotic pastimes into a more mainstream aquarium hobby. Now, before Inds, tropical fish keeping was an expensive, frustrating guessing game with high mortality rates. He used his unique combination of publishing power, photography skills, and scientific networking to give hobbyists the exact tools they needed to succeed. Here is exactly how Mr. Inds transformed the aquarium hobby. He created the first practical how-to manuals. Before Inds, aquarium books were written in dense academic language or filled with inaccurate folklore. Inds used his professional printing press to publish books that were highly visual, easy to read, and deeply practical. The Definitive Care Guide. His 1935 book, Exotic Aquarium Fish, provided uniform care sheets for every known species. It detailed precise water temperatures, breeding habits, and compatibility. Universal standards. He established the baseline rules for tank management that hobbyists still use today, such as calculating stocking limits based on surface area rather than water volume. He invented accurate fish photography. In the early 1900s, people bought fish based on black and white drawings that rarely looked like the actual animal. Inds revolutionized the industry by capturing the true vibrant colors of tropical fish. The focus tank. He engineered a tiny wedge-shaped glass box that gently pushed the fish close to the front pane. This stopped them from swimming out of focus. Lighting innovation. He used synchronized flash powder and early flash bulbs to capture rapid fish movements before they could dart away, creating the world's first true visual catalog of exotic species. He built the first national hobbyist network. Inds recognized that a hobby could not grow in isolation. He used his monthly publication, the Aquarium magazine, to bridge a massive gap between elite scientists and backyard hobbyists. Crowdsourced discoveries. If a hobbyist in Ohio figured out how to successfully breed a difficult fish, Innes published their method nationally so everyone could replicate it. Combating myths. He used a magazine to debunk dangerous myths of the area, such as the common belief that changing an aquarium's water would instantly kill the fish. He mainstreamed the global fish trade. Innes acted as the primary bridge between international explorers and the American public. The neon tetra boom. When the neon tetra was first discovered in Amazon, Innes obtained some of the very first specimens. He published their bright, glowing colors in his magazine, sparking an overnight nationwide obsession that fundamentally shifted the economic scale of the entire hobby. Scientific credibility. He worked directly with leading ichthyologists at institutions like the Smithsonian. His ability to translate complex ichthyology into simple terms gave commercial breeders the scientific foundation to build the modern aquarium industry. So, as you can see, William Innes was very instrumental in the aquarium hobby at the time. Now, I am quite convinced if YouTube and social media was a thing when William T. Innes was alive, he would have revolutionized the aquarium hobby, even still with YouTube and social media in those days. He would be a huge YouTuber, but unfortunately, they did not have YouTube or social media at the time. But William T. Innes is responsible for how big the aquarium hobby is here in the United States of America and all around the world as well. The neon tetra is popular because of William T. Innes. So thank you, Mr. Innes, for all your contributions to the fish keeping hobby in the United States of America. Well, coming up next, we're going to talk about how the World War II boom impacted the aquarium hobby in the United States of America. And then we're going to talk about the introduction of hybridized fish and glowfish. But first, I want to invite you to a very special episode of Saturday with Alex Cardinale that is taking place this Saturday. This Saturday, it is the 4th of July. But more importantly, this Saturday, it is the 250th birthday of the United States of America. So I gladly present to you U.S.A. 250 Saturday with Alex Cardinale, live this Saturday, July 4th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. There's going to be 3 rounds of Two Truths and a Lie on the U.S.A., the Civil War, and the Revolutionary War. Chef Alex will have 4th of July recipes. The Saturday Buzzer will be on the history of America and more. Here's what's coming up this Saturday on Saturday with Alex Cardinale's 4th of July special.
Can you believe this Saturday is the 4th of July already? It's not no regular 4th of July or regular Independence Day. It's America's 250th birthday. Live this Saturday, July 4th, 2026, at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. I am proud to announce Alex Cardinale, will celebrate 250 years of U.S.A. and the 4th of July, live on U.S.A. 250th Saturday with Alex Cardinale. Come tune in to celebrate America. Here's what to expect. Animals of the world, bald eagle and American snapping turtle. Aqua Alex fed and fish, largemouth bass and bowfin. Monster of the deep, alligator gar. 3 rounds of Two Truths and a Lie. U.S.A., Civil War and Revolutionary War. Hot Take, Best American Foods. Saturday Buzzer, History of America. Alex has 5 minutes to discuss the history of the U.S.A. If he succeeds, viewers and Alex celebrate and enjoy the 4th. If he fails, he must pay the piper. Chef Alex returns with 4th of July recipes. Aqua Alex Massive Pond Update. Bowling with Alex Cardinale. What in the Florida? True crime, worst crimes in U.S.A. Yankees Spotlight, WWE SmackDown Recap, Weekend Update, sensational pool tips, and more. I'll see you all this Saturday, July 4th, 10 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/Alex Cardinale 2026.
All right now we're going to talk about how did World War II boom impact the aquarium hobby in the USA. Well, it accidentally built the physical infrastructure, specifically airfields and cargo lanes, that sparked the massive tropical fish boom of the 1950s. Now, before the war, the U.S.A. relied heavily on international shipping lines to bring exotic fish from South America, Asia, and Germany, which was the world leader in commercial fish breeding at the time. Shipping halts. Commercial maritime routes across the Atlantic and Pacific were completely halted or reassigned to military logistics. Import bans. Due to global instability, countries like Brazil temporarily banned the export of Amazonian fish altogether in the 1940s. Domestic reliance. For nearly 5 years, American hobbyists can only keep what they could breed themselves at home or harvest from local native waters. Severe manufacturing shortages. The U.S. war effort demanded the strict rationing of metals, rubber, and glass, leaving almost no raw materials for pet products. No new tanks. The heavy steel and cast iron frames used to hold aquariums together were redirected to build military machinery and ammunition. The DIY era. Factory-made electric air pumps and heaters became entirely unavailable. Hobbyists had to share homemade DIY schematics in local clubs just to keep their existing tanks aerated and warm. Paper rationing. William T. Imes' famous The Aquarium magazine struggled significantly with strict paper rationing, forcing him to cut pages and limit the distribution of his vital care books. The secret military electric eel contract. An electric eel contract for the U.S. military. Interesting. In a bizarre intersection of aquaculture and national security, the U.S. government established a secret wartime contract with Paramount Aquarium, the largest U.S. live fish importer at the time. The military ordered the covert collection and importation of wild electric eels from South America. These eels were rushed to secret government research facilities where scientists studied their neurotoxins and biological electricity for potential chemical warfare defense and naval research. Post-war catalyst. The air-based legacy. While the war years were dark for the hobby, the military infrastructure built during World War II directly created the modern tropical fish industry. The airfield network. To fight the war, the U.S. military constructed a vast network of air bases and refueling hubs through Central America, the Caribbean, and northern Brazil, such as Atkin Field in Guyana. The 1950s boom. Immediately after the war, commercial fish exporters bought surplus military cargo planes like the Douglas DC-3 and utilized these brand new military airfields. For the first time in history, millions of fragile tropical fish like neon tetras, discus, and angelfish can be flown from the Amazon to U.S. pet shops in hours rather than weeks, driving prices down and turning fish keeping into America's second most popular hobby. That is very, very interesting that post-World War II, that's when all the exotic fish became available in the aquarium hobby, and that is how we got to where we are today. Coming up next, we're going to talk about hybridization in the U.S. fish keeping hobby. But first, I want to invite all of my amazing viewers, and if you're new viewers, I want to invite you to my flagship program, Saturday with Alex Cardinale, which takes place each and every Saturday. And each and every Saturday, there's going to be 3 rounds of Two Truths and a Lie, a segment called Saturday Buzzer, and more. Here is a quick promo telling you about my flagship program, Saturday with Alex Cardinale.
Tune in to Saturday with Alex Cardinale, your weekend entertainment and educational talk show, airing every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, on YouTube channel Alex Cardinale Entertainment, youtube.com/Alex Cardinale 2026. Join us for an exciting weekend experience with Saturday with Alex Cardinale, where entertainment meets education in the most fun way possible. Since its debut in 2022, the show has been a hub of excitement, blending Alex's diverse passions into one spectacular program. What to expect? Tropical fish adventures. Dive deep into the world of aquatics with Aqua Alex Cardinale as your guide. Culinary delights. Get inspired in the kitchen with unique cooking tips and recipes from Chef Alex Cardinale. WWE Insights. Stay up to date with the latest happenings in the world of wrestling. Sports passion. Cheer along with Alex's favorite teams, the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mystery unraveled. Join Detective Alex Cardinale for thrilling investigations. Saturday Buzzer. Alex has 5 minutes to discuss a topic. If he succeeds, viewers must do a favor for Alex. If he fails, he must pay the piper. Hot Take. Alex's take on popular or controversial topics. And so much more. Special appearances by Chef Alex Cardinale, bringing you culinary wonders. Aqua Alex Cardinale, your aquatic expert. Detective Alex Cardinale, solving the mysteries that intrigue you. Get involved. Host your own segment. Have a passion or talent you want to share on the show? Email us at alexgoyankeescardinale19@gmail.com to become a part of the Saturday with Alex Cardinale family. Join us every Saturday for a blend of entertainment, learning, and fun with Alex Cardinale. Don't miss out on this vibrant weekend adventure every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
All right. The intentional hybridization of fish species became popular in the U.S. aquarium hobby in 2 distinct waves. A subtle, unnoticed wave in the 1960s, followed by a massively, highly controversial boom in the late 1990s and early 2000s. While fish keepers had crossed species for decades, it transformed from a niche breeding experiment into a dominant commercial market force at the turn of the 21st century. The 2 waves of U.S. fish hybridization. Wave 1, the invisible live bearer creep, 1960 to 1980s. The earliest widespread hybridization in American homes happened entirely by accident or via subtle commercial line breeding of live-bearing fish. The target species, commercial breeders in Florida and Asia, began crossbreeding different species of mollies, guppies, platies, and swordtails. The goal, they crossed them to introduce vibrant new colors like neon red and unique fin shapes into standard pet store stock. The result, because the body shapes of these fish remained unchanged, the vast majority of American hobbyists during this era bought and kept hybrid live bearers without ever realizing they were man-made frankenfish. Wave number 2, the cichlid frankenfish explosion, late 1990s, early 2000s. Hybridization truly exploded in popularity and ignited immense controversy when breeders began aggressively crossing large Central and South American cichlids to create entirely unnatural, hyper-aggressive shapes and colors. The blood parrot cichlid, late 1980s, 1990s, created in Taiwan by crossing species like the Midas cichlid and the redhead cichlid. This bright orange fish features a severely deformed beak-like mouth and a round body. When imported to the U.S., it polarized the hobby, split evenly between people who loved its cute look and purists who hated its structural deformities. The flower horn mania, late 1990s to 2000s, first bred in Malaysia in the mid-1990s by interbreeding blood parrots, red devils, and trimax cichlids. The flower horn featured an enormous protruding forehead, nuchal hump, and striking neon patterns. The craze. The flower horn hit the U.S. market in the early 2000s, triggering an unprecedented speculative bubble. Premium, high-quality, masterpiece flower horns were sold to enthusiastic American collectors for thousands of dollars each. Now, obviously, they don't cost that much today, but back in the day when they were first introduced, they were very, very expensive. But obviously, now hybridization has picked up a lot more. Now we have hybrids like the red-tailed cat, tiger shovelnose marble dacara hybrid, and believe it or not, a lot of your peacocks and haps and ambunas from Lake Malawi are now hybrids as well. Well, coming up next, we're going to talk about glowfish, another controversial fish in the American fish keeping hobby, the glowfish. We're going to talk about that in just 1 second. But I want to invite you all to my Shark Saturday with Alex Cardinale, taking place at the end of this month.
Dive into Sharky Saturday with Alex Cardinale. It's that time of year again. Things are about to get jawsome with the 2026 edition of Sharky Saturday. Join us on Saturday, July 25th, 2026 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific for an unforgettable evening with Alex Cardinale. This year, Sharky Saturday is bigger and better than ever. Get ready for new and exciting ways to incorporate sharks into the show. Here's what's swimming your way. What's happening on Sharky Saturday? Animals of the world. Discover 4 unique shark species from around the globe. Aqua Alex featured fish. Dive into the world of freshwater and aquarium saltwater sharks. Monster of the deep. Explore the majestic whale shark. Hot take. Uncover the best shark movies and the top sharks to keep in the aquarium hobby. 3 rounds of 2 truths and a lie. Test your shark knowledge with facts about the great white shark, bull shark, and hammerhead shark. Saturday buzzer. Alex has 5 minutes to spill the tea on sharks. If he succeeds, viewers must share this episode and name their favorite shark. If he fails, Alex must pay the piper. And so much more. Mark your calendars and set your alarms for Saturday, July 25th, 2026 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Join us to celebrate all things shark on Sharky Saturday. Watch live on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Alex Cardinale 2026. Prepare for a fantastic night you won't want to miss.
All right now we're going to talk about glowfish and the history of glowfish. Believe it or not, glowfish were founded right here in the good old U.S.A. The rise of glowfish across the 2000s and 2010s marked the first time a genetically modified organism, GMO, became a mass market retail product. First hitting U.S. pet shops in January 2004, Glowfish completely disrupted the pet industry. They created an entirely new market category of fluorescent glowing fish, specialized equipment, and intense ethical debate. The origin, from pollution monitors to pets. Glowfish were never meant to be pets. They were developed in 1899, and by the early 2000s, scientists at the National University of Singapore. The science. Researchers inserted green fluorescent protein genes from jellyfish and sea anemones into the embryos of ordinary zebra danios. The goal. The goal was to engineer a fish that would flash or glow in the presence of high metals and environmental toxins to serve as an organic water quality monitor. The commercial pivot. Recognizing their visual appeal, a Texas-based company named Yorktown Technologies licensed a worldwide patent to mass market them exclusively as ornamental pets under the trademark name Glowfish. The 2000s, regulatory battlegrounds and launch. The introduction of Glowfish created a massive stir among federal and state regulatory agencies, leading to a starkly divided marketplace. The 2003 FDA decision. In December 2003, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued a historic ruling. The FDA opted not to regulate glowfish, stating that because tropical aquarium fish are not consumed as food, they pose no threat to the food supply or the broader environment. The California ban. While the rest of the country welcomed the fish, in 2004, the state of California outright banned glowfish due to strategic environmental laws restricting genetically modified fish. This ban blocked glowfish from a massive portion of the U.S. market for over a decade. The global ban. The European Union similarly implemented a strict ban on the import, sale, and possession of glowfish, which remains active to preserve wild genetic biodiversity. The 2010s, market domination and expansion. By the 2010s, early public skepticism faded and glowfish became a multi-million-dollar commercial juggernaut by expanding into new species and retail partnerships. Yorktown Technologies moved past the initial zebra danio. They introduced green black skirt tetras in 2012, tiger barbs in 2013, and eventually rainbow sharks. And now there are glow angelfish, glow corydorus, and glow convicts. So glowfish are continuing to grow. The Spectrum Brands buyout. The brand grew so massive that in 2017, consumer goods giant Spectrum Brands, the parent company of Tetra, purchased Glowfish for an undisclosed multi-million-dollar sum. The Neon ecosystem. Instead of just selling fish, the company developed an entire ecosystem of accessories. Pet stores dedicated an entire aisle to branded Glowfish blue LED lights, neon fluorescent gravel, and glowing fake ornaments. California lifts the ban. In 2015, following over a decade of data showing that tropical glowfish could not survive cold winter waters or successfully outcompete native species, California officially lifted its ban, allowing retail giants like Petco and PetSmart to sell them statewide. The impact on the aquarium hobby. The gateway fish for kids. Glowfish successfully commodified the fish tank for a younger generation by aligning the hobby with neon trends, video game colors, and nightlight aesthetics. They drew millions of children and first-time pet owners into independent and big-box pet stores. Eradication of fish dying. Historically, early fish keepers looking for unnatural neon colors bought painted or injected glass fish, which suffered agonizing pain and high mortality rate from chemical dyes. Because glowfish are genetically modified at the embryonic stage, they pass their traits down naturally to their offspring. They are born brilliant, completely eliminating the inhumane market for chemically dyed fish. The purist backlash. The hobby community suffered a major cultural split. Traditional aquarists criticized glowfish for bastardizing natural ecosystems, viewing the glowing trademark fish as cheap plastic toys rather than living organisms. Even today, high independent aquarium stores rarely stock them, leaving the glowfish market primarily to commercial chains. And that is the history of glowfish here in the USA. I personally speaking do not have any issues with glowfish, but I know it's a very controversial topic in the aquarium hobby, and a lot of American fish keepers feel a certain way about glowfish. But I love glowfish. I'll never keep them, but I do like the colors of some of them. All right, our main event for tonight and our final topic. Now we're going to compare how the aquarium hobby was in 2006, 2016, and of course, today. So let's get to it. Between 2006 and 2026, the American aquarium hobby underwent a massive paradigm shift, transitioning from artificial high-maintenance setups to highly automated natural ecosystems. Driven by advancements in LED lighting, the explosion of social media, and smart automation, the hobby completely redefined how tanks look and how they are maintained. 2006 to 2016, the great aquascaping and LED revolution. The decade leading up to 2016 fundamentally altered the visual landscape of American home aquariums. The death of plastic. Influenced heavily by the late Takashi Amano's nature aquarium philosophy, the hobby shifted rapidly away from plastic decorations toward heavily planted tanks using real driftwood and specific structural stones. The LED revolution. Solid-state LED lighting completely displaced inefficient fluorescent tubes. This allowed everyday hobbyists to easily grow demanding carpet-forming aquatic plants without creating excessive heat or running up massive electricity bills. The nano tank explosion. High-quality, rimless glass tanks became a staple. Smaller, meticulously designed nano tanks under 20 gallons surged in popularity, driven by young urban hobbyists facing space constraints. 2016 to 2026, the smart, tech, and eco-conscious shift. By 2026, the hobby evolved from a mechanical routine into a highly managed digital ecosystem. Total automation. Modern tanks feature integrated Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, automated water top-offs, programmable dosing pumps, and smart filters send text alerts to smartphone apps if water temperatures spike or perimeters fluctuate. Biotope accuracy. The trend has moved beyond pure aesthetics to mimic exact wild environments. Popularized across online forums, hobbyists now recreate specific blackwater tributaries of the Rio Negro or rocky shorelines of Lake Tanganyika, using specific leaf litter, botanicals, and native stream stones. The invert boom. Inverts are no longer just a cleaning crew. Keeping and breeding specialized freshwater shrimp, like Neocardina and Cardina morphs, has become its own massive, distinct subculture due to their low space requirements and vibrant color selectively bred strains. Amid tighter environmental harvesting laws, the 2026 marketplace relies heavily on localized fish clubs, regional fish swaps, and massive online peer-to-peer networks. Hobbyists heavily prioritize purchasing captive-bred marine fish and homegrown plants over wild harvested stock. And that is the fish keeping hobby in 2006 versus 2016 and today in 2026. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is this special episode of Aquatic Wetline. Believe me when I tell you, I had a blast talking about the history of fish keeping here in the United States of America. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please smash that like button and please share this episode on social media. Thank you for watching, Fish Keepers. Enjoy your 4th of July this weekend and enjoy being American. Happy 4th of July and peace out from Port St. Lucie. I, Alex Cardinale, would like to say thank you for watching this live stream on the Alex Cardinale Entertainment YouTube channel. I personally hope you enjoyed the live stream and the video. If you did enjoy the live stream, please smash that like button and please share this video on social media so that your friends and family can enjoy it as well. If you are a first-time viewer or new to my YouTube channel, I highly recommend hitting that subscribe button and getting a notification bell for notifications when I go live next or when I upload a video. I highly recommend subscribing so you're a member of the A.C.E community. Thank you for watching. A.C.E.